I got it made. I got it made, you never delayed. You came and you paid, surveyed the property you made. Put in the offer, you didn't have to say. I got it made for real. It's feeling like God in here. Bitch got that grace appeal. They stick with anointing, what else am I supposed to feel? Don't you come in, put your feet up, how you waiting here? Let me back up while you do you, I'm on NFL. Check my feng shui, I can rearrange the chandelier. Get it show ready where you set it
Lord,
up.
I ain't tripping, you can take it with it. The prayer talking gotta make them feel. I'm something special, I ain't just a vessel. I found your word was my way to heal. Now I'm outside trying to spread the message. The devil dripping, he been causing wreckage. My testimony went from declining to the upper hand, finally gave me leverage. What I felt was a stretch, it led to agility. You were the balance, I needed stability. All the allure, spirit so pure, from Father to Son like the holiest Trinity. Open arms, I receive the blessings. In every lesson, hope to see progression. The more you lead me to community, the more I see a need for intercession. Gotta pray for.
I'll be your temple, I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here, why won't you come and fill me? Jesus, have your way.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. It's your girl, yours truly, Jasmine D Mills, and I am excited about every week you all are coming back to tune in right here to the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. For everyone that is joining back here as you do every single week, welcome back. And if you are new here, make sure you like, tag, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also follow us on Instagram and on Facebook as well. And welcome to the F.L.Y Show. And again, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jasmine D Milledge, the self-love transformation coach. And we are in the middle of our dating series. It is called Dating the F.L.Y Way. We are dating through faith, dating with love, and dating you. And if you've been here with me, you know we have been talking about, are you hiding or are you healing? What does real self-love look like in dating? Also, situationships, entanglements, a whole lot of things. So if you have not tuned in to the first 3 episodes, make sure you go back and take a look at it, because we're talking about how to love God, how to love yourself, healing from a space of brokenness. Are you bleeding on people? And how to navigate through that. So today's episode is nothing less than amazing as well. We are talking about godly relationships and situationships. So today we're going to be defining the difference between alignment and entanglement. So I hope y'all flow with me here on tonight, okay? We're going to be discussing some good stuff, and also knowing the difference between a godly relationship and a situationship. And before, I always like to make sure we bring a Bible-based scripture, because, I am a God girl, and we can't do nothing without the Heavenly Father, right? So tonight's scripture is based around 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. Peace. We are in such a state of confusion in some situations, right? Because we are looking at one thing thinking is God feel, but it's really just a situationship that is caused to distract you. So tonight we're going to be breaking that down, right? So first, a situationship, in my opinion, can be defined as an unclear, emotionally draining, one-sided effort commitment. It lacks direction, it lacks clarity, it lacks understanding, it lacks, it's just a state of confusion. You don't know what you're doing, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what this is. You're just gonna see where this goes, and then next thing you know, you're still seeing where it goes for years and years and years and years. So then it turns into we're just gonna see where this goes, into now we've hit a 10-year mark, or a 5-year mark, or a 3-year mark, and we still just seeing where it goes. Now, Don't get me wrong, because there are some people out here that love being in a non-committed, committed, non-marital relationship. And if that's you, more power to you. Not judging, do your do. But for me, that's not me. I want to be in a fully committed, fully understanding, communicated, trustworthy, honest, and open dialect, vulnerable relationship, commitment, marriage, whatever you want to call it. That's what I desire. I don't want to be in a scenario where I don't know what this is, or I don't know what your intent is, or I don't know where we're going. I don't know what we're doing. We don't know each other's friends. We don't know each other's families. It's a mixed signal. It's emotional. It's an up and down roller coaster. There's already enough going on in a regular relationship that not knowing where I'm going, it makes it that much harder to stick and stay with what we're doing, because there's a gray area, right? We're walking in a gray zone. Now, I can't say that I've had a gray zone experience per se, that did not lead to a conversation. It was kind of like when I felt like I was in an area where I did not know what was going on, or where I became confused, or I felt like there was mixed signals or different things like that. There was a conversation that has to be had, because we often sometimes get to the point to where we feel like it's uncomfortable to have those hard conversations. But in order for you to know where you're going, what you're doing, what the intent of the other person is, what they're feeling, what their mindset looks like, what commitment level do they have, you must sit down and have a conversation. And in order for you to know if you're in a God-filled relationship or a situationship, there has to be some type of back and forth. I need to know what you're doing. I need to know what it is that you're looking for, and we need to know what we want from each other, if anything. Because sometimes you could be dealing with someone and then come to find out they don't want what you want, and so now you're feeling like you're wasting your time, right? So you have to sit back and ask yourself: have you ever mistaken a situationship for a committed relationship? How did you get out of that situation? Like, what was your way of being pulled out of that moment? How did you get out of that situationship? Or are you still in it and you don't know how to come up out of it? Because a lot of us don't know how to leave. A lot of us get complacent. A lot of us get comfortable. So we just decide, oh, okay, I'm good. Ain't nothing going wrong. He doing his thing. I'm doing my thing, and we vibing and we chilling, and we're cool with that. But at this big old age that I'm at, I need clarity, sir. I need understanding. I need to know what it is that you want. Now, that comes with the conversation before we even get to the commitment part. I need to know where you stand from the jump, what it is that you're looking for. That's either when I first meet you, and we go on a coffee date, or we go to the to get like a dessert or something like that, or whatever your first date looks like. That conversation has to be had right there, because what it does, it breaks down the walls of, okay, I don't know what this person wants. I don't know what this person wants. It breaks down that wall of confusion when you're able to have that honest conversation. But you have to be willing to have that conversation, right? So knowing what is a godly relationship, traits of a godly relationship is built on mutual respect and commitment. And before you can have a relationship built on respect and commitment, the main key ingredient in a godly relationship is what? God. If you don't have God in your life, or that person doesn't have God in their life, it's going to make it a little bit difficult to have a godly, committed relationship. So that is the first foundation of it all, of having a godly relationship. Do you first believe in God? Do you honor what commitment is to God? Do you cherish what commitment means to God? Do you cherish and honor covenant What are you staying with this type of commitment? Because when we in this commitment, that means we in this commitment. It's just me and you. It ain't me, you, and Sue, or me, you, and Drew. You get what I'm saying? It is us. It's me in another. It's me in whoever it is that I'm dating, right? What does the mutual respect look like? That means, okay, if we're in a committed relationship, can I say, or can you not have friends of the opposite, gender? Of course you can. Keep it respectful though. There are some people that feel like you can't have friends of the opposite, sex, because they sometimes comes, feel like, based on past experiences and different things that they may have been through, or different things that they may have, witnessed or dealt with from their last partner, or whatever the case may be. It may be some trust issues, or it may be some insecurity that they may feel. Sometimes it may be their insecurity within themselves, so it's kind of like, there are some things that you really have to work out. And again, some things that you have to communicate when you're in a committed, relationship. There's conversations that you must have. And I know it sounds like I'm repeating the same thing, but that's just how important it is to have these conversations when you're in a committed relationship, right? And you have to be intentional. Being intentional means you know what you're looking for, and you're working toward achieving and accomplishing a certain goal, right? Meaning you're determined to achieve what it is that you set your heart out to do. Being intentional means you're deliberate and you're doing it with purpose. You're not just out here winging it, flying by the seat of your drawers. You ain't just out here playing. You ain't out here hopping from this person to that person, this person to that person. You are very strategic with your alone time. You're strategic about who you date. You're strategic about who you converse with. You're strategic about how many people you're dating at one time. Because we can sometimes get to the point to where we get so lonely and we're yearning so much to be in a relationship that we can put so many people in a basket, and we're dating this person, that person, this person, that person, this person, that person. And then all of a sudden it becomes a ball of confusion. Because you have this spirit, this person, that experience, their drama, their trauma, their issues, their concerns, all mixed up with yours. And so now you're walking around in a ball of confusion because you don't know which way is left and you don't know which way is right. Because everything may look good, everything may sound good, but what's the purpose in dating 7 people at one time? What's the purpose in that? I get, they got all the shows, Ready to Love and Bachelorette and The Bachelor, and I get all of that. But some people don't know how to weed through multiple people to find what they're really looking for, right? Some people don't have the strong mindset to be able to decipher, okay, you're not it. You're not it. They continue to hold on. They continue to build whatever it is that they're building with this person, with that person, with this person, with that person. And the next thing you know, you're in an entanglement because you all over the place. Godly relationships start with a shared spiritual foundation of prayer, holding each other accountable, being able to encourage, also being able to critique, not criticize, but to critique. Hey, I see that you did something this way. Did you ever think about what about doing it this way? How can you enhance yourself and also be the best version of yourself while you're in the process of obtaining this godly relationship. You still have to make sure you focus on God while you're in this relationship, because you can't replace the person with God, because now you're committing, that's idolatry. And sometimes who you may think is the one for you is the one that you would never guess. The one that you might friend zone could very well be the one that's meant for you. But because we go so based on, I want it to look like this, I want it to feel like that, I want it to smell like this, I want it the vibe like that, we miss out on what God really has for us based on our materialistic aesthetic view. Right? In a godly relationship, you have the fruits of the spirit. You have love, peace, kindness, self-control, and all the other fruits. Don't quote me, because listen, let me don't. What are the fruit? Y'all know the fruits of the spirit. And if you don't, let's pull them up. Love, peace, kindness, was it long suffering? All those things, right? If you're not willing, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That's it. That's it. You have to have all of that when you're in a godly relationship. And this can either be in a godly relationship with another person or a godly relationship with yourself. Because you got to learn you as well through this process, right? Because you can't give an unknown vessel to somebody and expect for them to figure it out. That's a ball of confusion right there. So you have to know. You have to know and understand. You have to have clarity on who you are. You have to have understanding on who you are. You have to be at peace with who you are. You have to have joy with who you are. You can't be confused, because your confusion is going to be bestowed upon the person that you're pursuing, and vice versa. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 through 10 says 2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their labor. When the two become one, when the two work together to achieve and to maintain and obtain a godly relationship, God rewards that, especially when you're doing it in the way that he wants you to do it, right? How do you leave a situationship? How do you leave? What is the first step to that? The first step is acknowledging to yourself that you are in a situationship. That's the first step. You have to be honest with not only you, but you have to be honest with the other person. A good friend of mine, I often have like in-depth conversations, and a question was posed: have you ever been in a relationship with someone when you knew you were both toxic for each other? You knew you were toxic. How did you leave that situation? Again, it starts with honesty. Knowing that, you know what, I'm not helping you any, and you're not helping me any. We're not doing anything but causing each other to be held back from what we're supposed to be doing. That can be a form of toxicity, even though the person can be a great person, can be the most wonderful, kind-hearted, loving person, but they may not be the person for you. And that, my dear, becomes toxic, because now you're pulling each other in several different ways because you can't come together, right? You have to learn how to set boundaries, because you deserve clarity and commitment. You don't deserve to be tossed around like a hot potato. You don't deserve to be tossed around like I don't know, I don't understand, maybe, I guess so, or I guess. That's not what you deserve. You deserve to be chosen. You deserve to choose what you want. You deserve to choose that person. You deserve to be the person that's being chosen. Not to feel like, oh, okay, I had options, but I'm going to settle for this one. No. And most importantly, have a circle of friends that can hold you accountable and that knows you and say, sis, you tripping. You're wasting your time. Bro, that ain't it. That's not it. Because we often waste our time. And time waits for nobody. When you understand that the time is ticking, you can be here at 9:33 and gone at 9:34. Time waits for no man. So you don't have time to waste. Life is given to you already. You're born in iniquity, right? You're already born with trials and tribulations. Why are you adding on extra stuff that you don't have to be adding on? Huh? Sometimes God can tell you to go left and you just decide to go right. Does he know you're going to go right? Yes. But he gives you a free will and a choice to go left like he told you. I'm just saying. Know how to date with purpose. Sometimes praying together is magnificent, just so you know, okay? That's fostering a godly relationship. Date with intentionality. Date with purpose. Date with clarity. Pray by yourself. Continue to build that foundation with God. Continue to build the foundation with that person, if that's the person that's meant for you. Ask God if this relationship is in his will and in his alignment. And if you don't have any peace about that question, that may not be the situation for you. If God does not give you a peace that surpasses all understanding, then it may not be for you. And guess what? It is okay. We sometimes have such a difficult time with starting all over, doing it all over again, dating again. And I just spent my 6 months and I now got to get back out here. I mean, it's okay unless you're just ready to take a break. And if you want to take a break, right? Just take a break. Know that you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be desired. You deserve to be chosen. You deserve to be cared for. That's just my opinion. A situationship drains the life out of you. But a godly relationship, it builds you. It grows you. It strengthens you. Not only personally, but spiritually as well. Because a godly relationship, the foundation is built on God. If you don't have God as your starting foundation, then what is we doing? So you have to tell yourself, I am not settling for confusion. I deserve clarity, commitment, and a Christ-centered love. That is what I deserve. That is what I desire. That is what my heart yearns for. That is what my heart seeks. That is what my heart is after. And sometimes affirming that means you have to sit back and be by yourself for a while to continue to work on yourself, right? Sometimes you just might have to do that. Sometimes having a godly relationship means you ain't in no relationship because you're still working on you. Ask me how I know. I've dated, and then I'm like, this might not be it. Dating will show you have you really healed from the things that you've had to deal with? All right. It shows you who you are. And I know I've talked about it on a previous, show, but it shows you who you are. It shows you just how much work you have done and how much more work you have to go. It shows you all of that. But it also helps you build your godly foundation. It also helps you know and grow as who you are as an individual. It gets you to understand who you are. It helps you to learn everything about yourself. Because how can you tell somebody who you are if you don't even know? How do you know what a godly relationship is if you don't have one? I'm just saying. You have to. We make these lists and we have these demands and we have a type and all the things. But sometimes your type and your list are the things that you should be working on to become. So that way, when you are out here being pursued or pursuing, you already know what it looks like. So you know how to call it out. It builds your discernment level. Situationships don't, because it causes confusion. When you learn how to remove yourself from these type of situations, from wasting your time, because ain't nobody got time to be out here wasting, like at all. At all. We too grown for that. We too old for that, right? We too old. Learn how to have fun by yourself. Learn how to vibe by yourself. And know that it's okay, because when the time is right, God is going to send exactly who is meant for you. But in the meantime, and in between time, be patient while he does that. Love yourself while he does that. Get to know you while he does that. Grow in you while he does that. Live in your purpose while he does that. Because when you start getting in alignment with God and moving in your purpose, that's when you'll find your person. All right. So this is yours truly, Jasmine D, Milledge. And I am excited. And I thank you all so much for tuning in right here on the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You, in our dating series titled Dating the F.L.Y Way Through Faith, with Love, and with You. Make sure you tune in back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our second month, our episode 5, Healing After Heartbreak, Divorce, Breakups, and Finding Yourself Again. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you catch me back here live next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night.
I'll be your temple, I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here, won't you come live through me? Jesus, have your way. Jesus, have your way. I got it made, you never delay. You came and you paid. So